oppose their will on the other person. If I think if Morrell would have boxed more, he would have got more rounds in his favor.
Yeah,
But
but but at the same time too, like him not being used to doing that for X amount of rounds
Right.
is gonna tire him out. Again, that's why I picked
yeah,
Benavidez. It's inexperienced, but if he was more experienced, I'd be like, all right, yeah, nah, he got it. But he was
Yeah.
yeah,
inexperienced, so I knew it was either a matter of time. The how you say the fight or flight was gonna kick in, and he decided to fight, but it was just he was just too
Yeah.
inexperienced. So
He
it's
yeah.
just
fought.
too.
But what I'm saying is in the rematch, it might be a different outcome because they're gonna make adjustments in the fight. David
Yeah,
Benavidez might make adjustments, and David Morrell might make adjustments.
yeah,
So I don't
it
think it's
might
gonna.
look like a totally different fight, and and I definitely agree with you. But
Yeah,
it's just for that first initial fight, yeah, nah, that it was just the experience
yeah,
that really kind of kicked them off.
And that's what I
yeah.
kept saying, man. I kept saying the experience level and
Most
being under the
definitely.
bright lights for the first time,
Most,
really being under the bright lights.
yeah, I mean most definitely because when you got a fighter that's on a winning streak, he hasn't never lost, but he never had that actual mega fight to say, you know
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
he's a fighter that can fight under the big lights. You look at the style and say, you know what, he might be different, but it still never pans out the way you thought it was going to pan out because he never fought under those mega lights. So
Yeah.
now that he actually fought under those lights, it might be a different type of fight in a rematch. If they was to ever have a rematch, it might be a different style of fight because he said, "Okay, I know what he got. I know what he's about. I know what the feeling is fighting under the big lights." So it might be a
Yeah.
different outcome. It very well could be the same outcome, but it just when in a rematch, you never know what you're going to get because I've always thought, and I've always said it. I said it wasn't going to be a knockout. I said these guys are not going to get knocked out because neither one of these guys has ever been knocked out before. And I was like, I don't think neither one of these guys going to knock out the other opponent. David Benavidez has never been knocked out. Yeah, he's been knocked down, but it was a flash knockdown. It wasn't something that
Yeah.
he was hurt and he got knocked down. It was more so he was caught off balance and he got knocked down. David Morrell has never been knocked down. And I was like, I don't think it was going to be a knockout. I thought it was going to go to the scorecard. And it could very well be the same thing in a rematch, and it could go the opposite direction because David Morrell can make an adjustment.
Yeah. I think David Benavidez, man, he got a mean streak in him, man. It's just different. He just know how to dig deep, man. And when it's crunch time, and he don't play. You know, and I like both of them. Morrell showed me a whole lot in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He showed me
I
a
just
lot. I can't.
the only thing I want to say though about Benavidez is that I don't now like after this performance, and I'm not saying that he looked bad or nothing like that. I'm saying is I'm not sure if he beats Better Biev at all.
Oh
Like
no,
I'm
Well,
no.
really not even sure about like that. And even
but
Canelo, I'm like I don't know because he was getting hit a lot
I ain't
in
gonna. I'm
that.
gonna tell you something though. What you got to pay attention to, even when he getting hit, he know how to roll with those punches very well.
He
I pay
was
attention to
rolling with
stuff
the
like
punches
that.
very well, but if you noticed when in the beginning, I think it was when he was just standing there and like starting to just like really start standing there and trying to get hit because he was trying to like reply back with his shots. It wasn't looking good, and I'm like, yo, you can't do that with a better BF type, and you can't even stand there with a better BF type because one, he's not that big. I ain't know Morel was that big. Like I was like, oh,
Yeah, he
you're
is.
not even that
Yeah,
big.
no.
No,
Morrell is the
Morrell. Yeah,
bigger. Morrell is the bigger fighter because in the amateurs he fought at 175. He fought at
right.
light heavyweight. He's the bigger fighter, but the thing is with Benavidez and David Benavidez is it's a pick 'em fight. because
Yeah.
neither one of those guys has ever been beat. So it's like I gotta see it in order to believe it, because neither one of them guys ever been beat. And it was the same thing with David Morrell. David Morrell, I was like, okay, I had David Morrell because of the boxing style that he had. I said, I think David Morrell will beat David Benavidez, and David
Yeah.
Benavidez proved me wrong. And I have
Yeah.
no problem with
Yeah.
admitting that, but I also said it was a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, you did
I've
say that.
also
And
said
I
it
just
was a
kept saying,
50-50 fight
Yeah, I
because
just like I just like now for sure now like and I'm like and I was like saying it, but I forgot who I was talking to about it with. But I was talking about it and I'm like, yo, I just don't know if he beats Better Biev. And like for now, like I'm like, yeah, for sure I know
let me,
now
what
he's
yeah,
definitely not
let me
beating
what
say
I
Benavidez.
something about
what
that
I
for real
will
quick. Go ahead, Free. Go ahead. I wait. Go ahead.
what I will say is with that style of fighting that he fought David Morrell, I don't think that he would beat Better Biev. He will have to fight a different style. He can't fight that same style. And I think that he might be able to show a different style. I just don't know if he beat Butterbeer because nobody's has ever beat him before. So it's
Yeah.
still a fight that I will have to see it to believe it. David Benavidez is another one of those guys that I will have to see it to believe it because neither one of those guys has ever been beat.
Right.
So it's a 50-50 fight because neither one of those guys has ever been beat, and they fought multiple styles of fighting. Like when you got a Tank Davis versus Shakur, it's not the same type of fight because Shakur has never been in there with a fighter like Tank Davis, and Tank has never been in a fight with a guy like Shakur. But when you talk about David Benavidez and you talk about Arthur Beterbiev, they've been in there with guys that fight a similar style to their fighting style.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
been
I
in there.
just
Hey, yeah,
go ahead,
you
bro.
right about that, Free.
Go ahead,
My
CBK.
my fault. What I was gonna say was I agree with everything you saying, but the thing that I take into account and something that I've been bringing up on my channel, one thing we always know that cliff is always near. And for some reason, you can see a fighter when he's up in age, he can look great one fight, and the next fight he can drop off that cliff. So I know I'm saying that Arthur, sooner or later, we know he up in age. He can get caught at the wrong time, and it might be, you know what I'm saying, hey, Father Time, you know what I'm saying, don't wait on nobody. We know that. Father Time undefeated. What I do think is this right here. In order to beat Arthur, you're gonna have to be able to get on the back foot sometime. David Benavidez loves to come forward, but I think that he has a high IQ. I think that he's able to get on the back foot, go forward. I think he can do a lot more than people think he can. I seen a lot of that in the David Morrell fight, you know what I'm saying, because he had to. And he's going to run into a few problems with guys at 175 actually being bigger than him. And we're going to have to see him go in the toolbox and show us different things. And I think we've seen a lot of that in Morrell, because Morrell is a man. Hey, listen, Morrell, Free, you was right. He's an excellent fighter. Excellent fighter. I gotta say that I think Morrell's an excellent fighter. I just think that it was the wrong time for him, but he got the experience now. But Arthur and David Benavidez to me is definitely a 50-50 fight. I would lean towards Arthur, but it's a 50-50 fight.
I
Yeah,
feel you.
I think in order to beat Arthur, you have to make him respect you. It's the
Yeah.
same thing like Tank Davis. If you can't make him respect you, I don't think you beat him at all.
But that's where I feel like that situation because I don't think the power is the same as in he was when he was at 68 more than he like you know what I'm saying like his power is not like the same as it was at 68. He
Do you
can't.
think
Right,
he
right.
ever had real one punch knockout power? I don't.
No,
I've
I
No,
always
don't think
thought
he
no,
that
had
no,
he
no,
no I
no,
was.
don't think
no.
he had one punch knockout power, but I think he did have enough sting on them shots to keep
Yeah,
people honest and respectful. So even
he had respectable power, but he never had one punch knockout power.
Right.
But
yeah,
he had power that you said, okay, I can't walk right in on him. But he never
Because
had that one punch knockout power.
right,
but
because
I feel like
him and Morrell, they were trading some good shots, and I feel like both of them was hurt at different times in the fight. what I will say about that, David Benavidez had fought like what's his name, Gogvinic? How you pronounce that?
Gosvick.
He's ranked number 6 or 7 right now at 175 pounds. Morrell is ranked 9th. So David Benavidez has beat 2 of the top 10 fighters. You see what I'm saying? So he's fighting top tier competition as well. And we know with competition, it also gets harder to knock out good competition like that or great competition.
Yeah. The
Go ahead.
only problem with that is Arthur has knocked out every top 10 opponent.
Yeah.
He's knocked out except for David. Demetrius Bivol.
Right.
Demetrius Bivol is the only person that went the distance with him, but everybody else, he's knocked them out.
But see, and that's what I was gonna say for y'all. Waiting on you to say that because he's in the. Those are 2 elite fighters, right? Now, is David Benavidez elite? I believe so. I believe he's elite. I believe he has enough. You know what I'm saying? If he fights that style he fight and don't change it up, he'll get knocked out. I'm just gonna keep it plain and simple. If he can't do that against Arthur. I don't think he can. If he does, man, he would shock me. It'll shock me if he done that. If he was able to just come forward, and be able to take Arthur out, that would shock me.
It's hard. It's hard though because like Arthur don't stop, and he just even he just doesn't stop, bro. Like that dude doesn't stop, and he knows how to pick them shots perfectly. And it's like, damn, bro, this dude is nice.
I'm gonna say this: Arthur and David Benavidez is a carbon copy of each other. The only difference is David Benavidez has more of a puncher's output because he's younger.
Yeah.
I think if Arthur was younger, he would have a more puncher's output. But because he's older, he's more selective of his punches because he knows that he doesn't have the stamina of a young guy. He knows that he doesn't have the stamina of a young guy.
That's true. That's true, Free. And the difference between for Arthur and his attributes is he does have the more power. He has more power than Benavidez.
Yeah. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I feel like if he does take this next that fight after the rematch between these two, then let it so be, let the best man win. But I got definitely I got like $5 on Better BF. So that's
what I said. That's why I said I'm leaning towards Arthur myself. I'm leaning towards him. You know what I'm saying?
I know a lot of people has leaned towards Demetrius Bivol beating Arthur because of the whole fight. Because of the whole fight that he beat Canelo Alvarez. But I'm looking at Canelo Alvarez and I'm looking at Arthur and I'm looking at Canelo Alvarez has no chance of beating Arthur. He has no chance of beating Arthur at all. I think Arthur possibly will be the only person that will stop Canelo Alvarez. I think he's the only person that will stop Canelo Alvarez. And I think a lot of people jumped on the Demetrius Bivol wagon because he beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm like, dog.
I picked Arthur though. I picked Arthur.
And I'm looking at Arthur. I'm like, dog. I don't know what y'all see as Demetrius Bivol, but he's not beating Arthur. I don't care what style he comes in there with. He's not beating Arthur. He doesn't have enough power to beat Arthur.
The reason why I picked Bivol was because I felt like he would have been smart enough. I didn't even care that he had, enough power to knock him out. I didn't care I felt like his smarts would have gotten him, the win. Yeah. But I felt like even when he was fighting smart, and then Arthur figured out, like, oh yeah, you can't even hurt me. All right, I got you. Say less.
And you know what? You know what? I think that's what a lot of people think, and that's where a lot of people go wrong at because they don't know that Arthur is a better fighter or a better boxer than what he really is. Most people look at the knockout. It's the same thing as Tank Davis. They don't realize how good of a boxer that he is because you look at the knockout. You think, oh, or he just gonna go in here and knock this guy out. But Arthur is an actual boxer.
Yeah,
Tank
he's a
Davis
boxer.
is an actual boxer.
Yeah, they both
So
can box.
yeah, they can box, but they have the power to knock your
Yeah.
ass out.
Yeah. You know, I took Arthur against Dimitri in the first fight. The second fight, I still got Arthur. I think, man, he got a chance
He
this
might
time.
stop
I
him.
think, yeah, if
He
I'm
might
gonna
Yeah,
stop
say,
him.
I
He
agree.
might
I
stop
think
him
he's
this
gonna
time.
stop Demetrius. I think
I
he's gonna
agree.
stop Demetrius because Demetrius is going to try to do something that he didn't do in the first fight and let his
Yep.
hands go, which is going to open him up more to to get hit more often. Because
Yeah,
the one
I
thing
agree.
that I saw in that first fight, when he got hit in that 10th round, that man put his hands in his pocket. He said, "You
Yeah.
know what? I'm not getting knocked out."
Bro,
So
but
if he goes out here in his second fight and try to give more of an offensive fight, he's going to leave himself open to get hit even
Yes,
easier.
sir. Yes, sir.
he's damn, bro. Like, and it was hard because like after the 7th round, and I was telling people, I was like, yo, I've like gone back and watched the fight like a couple times after it happened. And I'm like, bro, after the 7th round, it was night and day. I was just like, damn,
Yeah,
son,
well,
this dude
you
is
hear what,
different, bro.
Now,
man, it was.
I'm not even going to lie. There was opportunities in that fight for Demetrius Bivol to
Yeah.
capitalize in that fight, but because of the power that Arthur possessed, you're not willing to take those chances.
Nah.
Hey, Free.
And his punch output kept getting like higher and higher. And I was like, yeah, nah, dude.
Y'all
It
think
was
about this,
impossible for
man.
him.
If a man hit you on your glove and make you bruise your own face, you know he punching hard. You ain't gonna let your hands out
And,
your pocket. You gonna keep your man. Hey,
and I
he was
don't I
hitting this
don't want to
good.
I don't want to keep comparing him to Tank Davis, but it's almost the same type of fighter. When you open up more, that gives him more opportunity to catch you with a big shot. It gives you more of an opportunity to catch you with a big shot, and they like for you to open up more. When you got a guy that's a knockout artist, he wants you to open up to leave yourself open to catch a big shot. When
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
more
he
of a
do.
defensive fighter, when you're more of a defensive fighter like Demetrius Bivol was in that first fight, you can't get the knockout shot that you want because he's
Yeah,
too defensive. He's
yeah,
too defensive. He's always worried about the big shot. So yeah, you
yeah,
can win the fight on the cards, but you can't get the knockout that you want. And that's similar to Tank Davis, and that's what I think is going to be with Shakur Stevenson. If he gets the fight with Shakur Stevenson, I think Shakur is not going to leave himself open enough for Tank Davis to get the big shot. But Shakur is not going to do enough to win the fight.
that's that. You know the same thing I've been saying, Free. You know I say that too. I think that's how that fight gonna play out. Exactly like you said it. I think that's how that fight plays out, man. I don't think the Tank is gonna be able to get the knockout because Shakur is gonna pull that Edwin type of fight. But Tank gonna win because he's not gonna be able to do enough against Tank. They're not gonna award. He's not gonna be able to do that against Tank. He's gonna if he wants to beat Tank, he's gonna have to take some chances.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not pulling for him in that fight, but
Yeah,
he gonna have to grow a pair of balls just to
yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. He gonna it's definitely
Like
gonna have to do. He gonna have to do.
what he did with De Los Santos,
That's not
that's
gonna fly.
not going
And
to.
I said that.
No,
The same
that's
night that
not.
we were watching that fight. I said it. I was like, that's
Yeah,
not gonna fly against Tank.
It's
I
not.
was like, that's
It's
not
not.
gonna fly.
that
It's not.
that's not going to win a fight with Tank Davis because Tank
Nope.
Davis is the bigger name. He's the bigger name, and
Thank you.
you gotta beat Tank Davis in order to win that fight. They're not going to
Thank you.
give you that fight against Tank Davis. You gotta
Nope.
beat him. If you
Nope.
don't beat him, they're not going to give it to you.
They're
And we
not.
saw that with the Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz was taking it to Tank Davis, but Tank Davis outboxed him. He
Yeah.
outboxed him, so they couldn't give it to Pitbull Cruz. Tank Davis had one hand, and he outboxed that man with one hand. So
Yeah,
Man,
if
I,
you're not going to
that
be
kid
able to,
is.
if, yeah, if you're not going to be able to, like, I think like Shakur is so defensive minded that he don't want to get knocked out because he has in his mind if he gets knocked out, he would never have the notoriety of being one of the top fighters because he got
right.
knocked out. So he don't want to get knocked out. If he feels a power shot from Tank Davis, he's going to go into a shell, and he's not going to let Tank Davis be able to knock him out. But he also is not going to open up enough to be able to beat Tank Davis.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great analogy right there, Free. That's the best way to break it down. I'm gonna tell you something. People might think it sounds crazy. I think it would be a more exciting fight Tank and Keyshawn, just because Keyshawn probably gonna get knocked out, but he gonna open up and take chances.
I'm not gonna
I
hold
think,
you.
Almost,
I'm not gonna hold you. I
yeah,
want to see Tank fight Teal. I feel like that would be a better fight.
yeah. Me too. I definitely
That'll
agree
be a
with you.
great
That
yeah,
fight.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
most
agree with you,
definitely.
and the
BBO.
reason why I say
I
this,
agree with you, BBO.
is because
See,
athletically,
see the
both of them are almost the same. Not saying
like,
they're same.
That's a good
Athletically,
point.
they're both the same though.
yeah,
They're
Yeah,
very
like
athletic,
like
both of them, and they can definitely both punch.
But Juan, let me ask you this though:
like
when you say the same, do you realize that he's a little bit bigger than Tank, probably about 3 or 4 inches?
he's five
um
eight,
like
ain't he, BBO? Yeah,
I,
Well,
I'm
he's
I'm gonna tell you
3.5
right
inches
now,
taller.
when you have a skill set that's similar to Tank Davis, you have in order to beat Tank Davis, you have to have a better ring IQ because if Tank Davis realized y'all have the same similar skill set, the way that you beat Tank Davis is make Tank Davis come after you. Tank
Yeah,
Davis is so smart. He's gonna make you come after him. And a lot of guys, because of Tank Davis' size and stature, they look at Tank Davis as he's a small fighter. They're gonna bully Tank Davis. That's where they lose from the very beginning. That's
hey,
where they lose at
you're right, Free.
from the very
Let me ask y'all a
beginning.
question though. What happened to T.O. Power at 140? The power don't seem like it's the same to me. Do
He's
you think
fighting
it's
bigger
still there?
dudes. To tell you the truth, like you look at it, right? Josh Taylor should have been moved up to 147,
Yeah, I was
and
thinking
then
about that, but let me say this. You think Tank has the power if he goes to 140? I'm just talking about, I'm trying to judge their punching power, what I'm trying to do, right? So
I
if
think I
Tank goes to
think
140,
I think the from what we've seen in the Barrios fight at 140, I can't really be like yeah, because again Barrios fights in a kind of, I don't want to be like a dick about it, but like in a typical Mexican style where
I'm
it's come forward, come forward, come forward, and
yeah.
that's easy pickings for a lot of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm gonna tell you like this because of what I just said. Everybody looks at Tank Davis as the smaller guy. They're gonna want to bully Tank Davis. The only person that actually be able to beat a Tank Davis is a guy that make Tank Davis fight out of his comfort zone. You gotta
Right.
make Tank Davis come after you. Don't come after Tank Davis. You got to make Tank Davis come after you. If you can make Tank Davis come after you, because Tank Davis is more of a counter puncher. He's more of a
He
counter
is.
fighter. He likes to hit you with counter shots. So if you make Tank Davis fight on the front foot and you're more of a back foot fighter, like if that's what you actually can do well, I'm not saying Tank Davis is making you fight on the back foot, but if that's something that you do well, is fight on the back foot. If you're a more of a back foot fighter, that is the guy that can beat Tank Davis. Like
Okay.
a T.O., if T.O. can make Tank Davis come on a front foot, he can beat Tank Davis. But I don't
yeah,
think
Let me,
T.O. can make Tank. I don't think T.O. can make Tank Davis come on the front foot because T.O. is not as mentally strong as Tank Davis. I think Tank
yeah.
Davis is going to make T.O. come on his front foot.
I
Well,
agree with that.
so you think Frank Martin can make Tank come forward, but Tio can't?
No, I don't think
No,
Frank Martin. I
Frank.
don't think Frank Martin even made him perfect. I think Frank Martin
I don't,
basically
I don't,
Tank
I
walked
don't
raised
him
him
think
on
down.
Frank
it.
Martin.
Tank
Get
walked
man.
him
No,
down.
Get
listen,
man.
listen.
Get man.
Frank Martin didn't make
You
didn't
came in
make
here. Get
Tank
him
come on
man.
his front foot. He didn't make
Get him
Tank
man.
come on his front foot.
Get him
Tank
man.
Davis saw at the
He
weigh-in
came in here because I
that
was taking
Frank
too long.
Martin was
So he want to go
drained.
to bed.
He
So I'm
saw
gonna
that
go in the living room.
he saw that he saw that Frank Martin was drained. So he said, I know he can't keep up this this
Pace.
level of pressure for a
Hmm.
long
Yeah.
period of time. So that's why Tank Davis stepped on the gas on Frank Martin. He went straight at Frank Martin. Tank Davis never goes straight at anybody. Go look at all of his fights. Tank Davis
Hey,
always stepped
free.
on the back foot from the
What
very
about what's the
beginning.
name though, Frank? Free. Let me
Who?
ask you about one fight. Not cutting you off. I felt like in the Hector Garcia fight, and I'm gonna say this about Tank. Tank to me can fight just about any style. I gotta give him credit. In the Hector Garcia
No.
fight, he in the Hector Garcia fight, he came forward in that fight a lot more than he usually does, man. He put some pressure on
He
Hector.
can
Go ahead,
he
Free.
can come forward
Yeah.
with Tank Davis when he realized you don't have enough power to hurt him. That's
Yeah.
when he will come forward.
Right.
But majority of his fights, if you go back and look at Tank Davis, majority
You're
of
right.
his fights, Tank Davis is on the back foot. He's
Yep.
on the back foot. Once he realized you don't have the power to be able to hurt him, he comes forward. But
Yeah,
with
I
the
agree.
Frank Martin, he came forward right off the beginning because he knew at the weigh-in that Frank Martin was weight drained. He said it. He said, "Look at his
Yeah.
eyes." He said,
So did.
"You can't drink no water right now. You can't drink no water." He
Yeah,
knew that Frank Martin was weight drained. So that's
I
why he
agree.
put the pressure on Frank Martin because he knew Frank Martin couldn't keep it up for 12 rounds. He couldn't keep
Yeah.
that up because when you weight drain, your body is depleted. And so when your body is depleted,
Yeah,
you
he
can do it
depleted for
for
sure.
a certain amount of you can do it for a certain amount of time. After a while, you're gonna be gassed. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
and
You
he,
did.
completely
Well,
gassed.
let me say this real quick. I think what Juan was trying to say, which is really true, and a lot of people have been saying, Tank is going to have to fight guys bigger than him to see his best.
Yeah.
People talk about that Barrios fight
Yeah,
not because Tank was any real trouble. It's the fact that he needs to, because he's the king of the little bitty guys. He's the king of the little bitty guys, just like
Ain't
Floyd
no doubt
was.
about it. Ain't no doubt about it.
The problem is very simple because Hector Garcia can fight, Lamont
Yeah.
Roach can fight, but he gonna make them look like pin cushions. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying
yeah.
is, people get mad at me when I say this, but to really get his best, and I don't care what people get mad about. No, I'm gonna be honest. To be honest, to see the best him, you got to see him go to welterweight, and you say, "Oh, he's too small," but that's the whole thing. Floyd Mayweather should have never been in no 54, no
Man,
47,
yeah.
but he made it. But he made it there. But what I'm saying, check this out. What I'm saying is, can you imagine how Tank would look versus Jaron Ennis? You would see stuff that you never
I
seen.
think
Just like when he broke his hand against Pitbull, we seen the wheels. I'm not talking about, and I'm not talking about us diehards. I'm talking about the
I'm
people who don't watch every day. You got to put him in there with
I'm gonna
somebody
be
who they think. Hold on, let me finish.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
let you go. I think you got to put him in there with somebody that people think can beat him, and that's the only way you're going to satisfy the masses, so to speak. Because there's nobody little that can beat him. Tio can beat him, probably, but Tio might have to go to 47, 40 catch weight to beat him because he's got to have some size. Because I'll be honest with you,
I'm gonna be
Tio at 35 couldn't beat Tank. He just couldn't.
Nope.
He just couldn't. But at 40, he might.
I agree
I'm
with
Go
gonna
you.
be
ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I don't I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is not no no Tank fanboy or nothing like that because I'm not a fan of none of these guys. I support these guys, but I'm not a fan of none of them. But I don't think that Jerron Booth Ennis beat Tank Davis.
I
After
don't
what
think
I
I
saw
don't think he
with
does
Free.
either. But I'm
I
just
can't. I
saying
can't
it
agree
would
with
be
that.
so
Free.
nice to see him do it.
Free.
and
Free.
I'm gonna go
I'm gonna keep it
solely
100.
after what I saw. After
I'm gonna
what
keep
I
it
saw
100.
with Karen,
Free.
Jerome Boots
kills Tank.
Ennis doesn't have the ring. Jerome Boots Ennis don't have the ring IQ to be able to beat a Tank Davis. He doesn't have the ring IQ.
I like Tank. I think Tank is phenomenal. If Tank goes to 147, he gets destroyed by Boots at 147. I'm keeping it real, and I'm keeping it real.
I got to keep it with TDK on that one. I'm not gonna hold.
I'm keeping it real. It's not even a fight.
I think to a certain degree, weight's too much. Same way that we're sitting there talking about Terrence going up in weight. I think weight is kind of way too much at a certain point. I mean, unless you're gonna get bullied.
But see, the thing is, with Tank Davis, you're not gonna get a Tank Davis like a Bud Crawford. You're not going to get Tank Davis going right into a Jerome Boots Ennis fight. He's going to work his way to a Jerome Boots Ennis fight. He's not going to go right at 140. He's not going to go right at 147 and fight Jerome Boots Ennis. Tank Davis is not going to do that. He's smarter than that.
I'm just looking at everything, Free. I don't care when they fight at 147. Man, Boots he's 5'10", and he's a very, very big welterweight. A very big welterweight. Listen, man. I'm telling you, Free.
Listen, what I'm about to
I'll
tell
put
you.
the house on. I'll put the house on that.
I don't care about you putting a house on or none of that. I don't care about you putting a house on or none of that. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Sometimes, man, we say stuff.
Hold on. Let me say what I'm saying. And this is coming from an actual boxing fan. I saw what Antoine was able to do to Jerome Boots Ennis. Tank Davis is hold up. Tank Davis is a better fighter than Antoine. He's a better fighter than Antoine.
He's a smaller fighter than Antoine as well. And it makes a difference, Free.
Listen,
it makes a difference.
Listen what I'm saying. I like I said, I don't think that Tank Davis will go directly into a Jerome Boots in his fight. He will get acclimated at the weight class first.
Give him 10 fights.
Get acclimated at the weight class first.
Give him 10 fights.
I don't think he. I know what you. Well, let me say this real quick, Free, because I hear what you're saying. You missing the fact that how strong Antoine is. I don't think Tank is strong like that. I don't think he's strong like that.
And when people be like,
I really think y'all underestimating how strong Tank Davis is. Because y'all
he's
look
not
at
strong
his
as
size
Antoine.
and y'all think, dog.
You think he's moving Boots?
I'm telling you.
I'm not saying. Listen, hold on.
Dog, it's not about how strong you is. It's about how smart you are. It's not about how strong you are.
Looking at with Boots,
it's about how smart you are.
Antoine was dragging Boots around like a dog, man. That's why. That's why I see what you're saying.
Right. Antoine was able to do that. Antoine was able to do that. What I'm saying is, I think what I believe is, I believe that Tank Davis is smarter. He's not going to go in there and fight to his disadvantage. He's going to fight to his advantage.
Okay,
but you just said. Let me say this real quick, CDK. But you just said something that I'm saying. This is where my ears go up. You said you seen what Antoine did to Boots, and what he did to Boots was he was physically stronger and dominated him physically.
No.
I don't think Boots has been. Let me say this. I don't think Boots has been dominated that way since that fight.
Yes, he did. Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
By who?
Yes, he has.
Who dominated him that way physically?
The last fight with Karen.
Karen was moving him like that.
The last fight with Karen. No, what you have? Listen, this is what Antoine did to Boots. He made Boots fight a style he wasn't comfortable in fighting.
Man,
that's what he did to Boots. It wasn't about. No, listen, y'all looking at
he made him bang. Aspect. He not gonna Tank ain't gonna bang with Boots the way Antoine did.
Listen. You're missing the point. He made him fight a style he was not comfortable in fighting. It's not the physical aspect.
Do
It's
y'all
not the
realize something though,
no.
right
I'm
quick,
talking.
everybody? Let's
Oh,
everybody have a hold on one
listen,
second, free, please. Please,
Antoine.
free, please.
No,
Please, free. 1
I'm
second.
I'm
Just
not.
one
I'm, hold
second, one
on. Oh, let
time.
me
Let
finish
him
One
saying
get
what I'm
second, one
saying.
let
time.
him get it out. Let
Let
him
me
get it out real
let me
quick.
finish. Let me
It's
finish
gonna go
saying what
on
I'm saying.
fast.
It's not about the physical aspect that
What up,
Antoine
Tommy?
did. It was the fact that he made him fight a style that he wasn't comfortable in fighting. When you make a fighter fight a style they're not comfortable fighting, you win the fight. You win the fight more times than not because they're not comfortable. That's why we always say you got to impose your style on another fighter. Because I don't believe styles make fight. I believe who imposed their style makes the fight. Because when you make a fighter fight a fight that's uncomfortable to them, they 9 times out of 10 they lose that fight. That's what Antoine did. Boots is not used to fighting a fighter that's in his chest. He used to stand on the outside using his boxing ability. Antoine was in his chest the entire fight.
Antoine.
Yeah,
Antoine.
Antoine,
Antoine.
Gary, Antoine.
Antoine. Yes, I'm saying Antoine.
Yeah,
Tank is not
I
gonna
don't
be
think Tank is that strong. I'm gonna just be honest with you,
he's
but I get
not.
what you're saying.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Cause
It
cause
Everybody
don't
who
have
knows
to be
cause you know,
strong.
hold on, let me say this
All
real
you got to
quick.
do
Cause
is be able to get under his skin.
Andre Ward said it best. We didn't expect you to do that to him. Andre Ward said that best. Cause I'm gonna put it like this: the only reason Gary Antoine, you know, don't get more credit for that is because he's not a talker. But the way he dominated Boots, if he was a talker, he could probably sell that and make some millions, man.
And bro, let me say this, BBO.
No,
Now,
no. Go ahead.
let me see what I gotta say. Antoine's been at 140 and Boots at 147. They was in the amateurs. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen plenty of people get beat in the amateurs and come back to get to the pros, and that fighter beat them in the pros. So I ain't even counting no amateur fight, but I know what he done. But what I'm saying is this right here. Ain't no way Tank gonna be able to do what Antoine done. I don't care how many fights he get at 147. Man, he's not beating no Boots at 147. Another thing with
So,
Kern.
so,
We really hold on.
so
Everybody got a chance to talk. Let me talk now. Kern, you know what I'm saying? Kern
Yeah,
is what we
Papa.
know. Yeah, Kern, man. You talking about Kern. Nobody really knows how good Kern is. Who else can you name that Kern fought over here in the States? Besides Boots. When he fought Boots, he was undefeated. Boots beat him twice. Easily. No matter what nobody say, he beat him twice. Unanimous decision, both times.
he,
So we're gonna have to stop acting
he
like
beat him
we know
twice.
how
He
good Kern.
made him look bad twice.
Man,
He made him look
you
bad
can't.
twice.
If
I mean,
if I beat you a unanimous decision, you can't make me look bad. You made yourself look bad because you lost.
Yes, you can.
Hey, salam
No,
alaikum,
he made
Clarence,
him look bad
man.
twice.
Man,
He made him look
Hold on,
bad
hold on, hold on,
twice.
hold on. We got somebody just
You,
popped up. Hold on 1 second. We got
okay,
somebody
I'm
just
sorry.
popped up.
Go ahead, BBL.
Fresh off the back of Devin Haney's tour bus, man. B3, what's going on, man? How you feeling,
B3,
baby boy?
how you doing, B3? B3, I'm gonna ask you a question.
What's good with
If
the
you don't
guys,
mind me
man?
asking you this,
Shout out to
I'm doing all right,
BVO,
B3.
man. Hey BVO, I just seen a whole bunch of your cousins. They made me a lot of money tonight.
No, you
So
sick,
I
man.
must appreciate shout out to
Oh no,
Cardenas. He
okay,
just
no,
closed the
bro.
show, man.
Man.
But do you think that AB3 Tank can go to 147 and beat Boots?
No.
Thank you. That's all I want to hear from somebody else too.
But you
Everybody
gotta
else
remember,
speak.
B3 got
no,
a Devin Haney t-shirt on. That don't count.
We talking about
Man.
Boots.
nah,
We
listen
you
talking
what
about
I'm
can't,
Tank and
saying.
And
Boots.
you
you
I'm
can't do
not
that.
talking about. See,
and you must
y'all
hey,
looking at
no,
it
no,
as
no,
Tank.
no, no, no.
No,
Hold on. Y'all can't let BVO cook me like that.
hold
When
up. I don't care about what BVO
Get a
said.
10
BVO,
fight.
I'm going about what I'm talking
BVO,
about. I don't care what BVO said. What I'm saying is y'all looking at Tank Davis going straight to 47 and fighting Boots
I'm
right
not.
away. I'm saying Tank Davis is not going to fight Boots right away. I'm saying
At no
Tank
time.
Davis is going to get acclimated at the weight first before
That is,
he get in there with a fight with a Duran Boots Ennis.
He might
I'll
not
put it
make it.
like this. I'll put it like this. The only fight that we've seen in Tank's professional career, he actually looked like he was in a little bit of trouble, was when he fought Mario Barrios. That's the only fight I ever seen him. He even looked
I'm
like
gonna
he was
say
a
this,
little
man.
bit of
Y'all
trouble.
capping, man. This brother can take all the accessories that he want to the weigh-in, to the press conference,
Yeah.
all anything he can take with him. It still ain't gonna help him with Boo Sanders. We
It's
need to
not.
cut the bullshit.
Thank you,
Oh
man.
Lord.
Thank you. This
This
is
little
great.
this
Hold on,
little
man. Hold on,
five
hold on,
five
hold on,
dude.
man.
Hold on, this little 5'5" dude that wouldn't even get in there with Devin Haney. He gonna move up to 47 and beat Boots.
Oh,
Stop it.
Thank
I,
you.
now
Thank
I
you.
definitely
Thank
see
you.
what
I
you're
Thank
talking
mean,
about, the
you.
tour bus. I
Stop
definitely
it.
see it now.
Stop it.
I'm not looking.
He
I'm
just
not
came
looking
off
at
the back.
Devin Haney because Devin Haney is Devin Haney. I mean, if Devin Haney is Devin Haney, I don't look at Devin Haney as being the same fighter as a Jerome Booth Ennis. So I'm talking about Jerome Booth Ennis. I'm not talking about Devin Haney.
I tell y'all what's finna happen.
You know what it
Tell
is. Let
y'all
me
what's
say
finna
this
happen.
real quick, CDK, because
I'm just
I don't
saying,
want to
why are we
forget
gonna
this.
cap for a guy who his handlers always say, he a 135. He a 135. But we
I mean,
talking about him
Hold
going up
on,
to
Big
I mean,
Three.
Jerome, I
147.
mean,
Hold on,
Man,
Big
that's
Three
some
Three.
soft
if you
ass
look
shit,
at
Can I
man.
if
let
you
me
look
say?
This
Hold
at
on, let me
little man,
hold on, y'all. When
y'all
I'm talking,
jank
hold on,
riding
hold
this
on,
little ass
hold
nigga.
on, y'all.
Jank riding this
Hold
little
on,
ass,
hold
Devin
this
on,
little
Haney's
baby ass
Devin
nigga.
Haney's been a
come
bigger
on,
Man,
y'all.
this
Come
little
on, y'all.
baby ass
Devin
dude.
Hold on.
Haney's been a
Y'all
bigger.
can't be yelling. Y'all can't be yelling
I
though.
Everybody
mean,
hold on, y'all.
Devin
When
Haney's been
Everybody
a
hold on.
y'all
bigger
I
can't be
thought he
fighter
yelling
was
in
when
a
I'm saying
every
something.
single fight.
$135.
Hold on. Y'all can't be yelling when I'm saying something. Hold on, hold on.
Go ahead, BBL.
This is all I'm saying. We can talk, but we gotta take turns. So say
Right.
what you gotta say, free.
I'm just
Then
saying.
B3, you go. But one at a time. We gotta do one at a time.
I'm just saying, Devin Haney's been a bigger fighter in every single fight outside of Ryan Garcia. Every single
What?
fight. He's never been a smaller fighter.
And Devin Haney don't use rehydration clauses.
Yo, this is funny as hell,
No,
bro.
he doesn't use rehydration clause. What he does is he goes to bigger weight class and then he comes back down to smaller weight classes.
When did he
Yeah.
do that? What are you talking about?
Devin was at 140 for a little bit, man.
Man,
Devin was at
y'all
140.
niggas scary as shit, man. Shut that
He
scary
was
ass
at
shit up,
140 for
man.
5 fights.
Man, that
He was at
corny ass
140 for
shit.
5 fights.
Shut that
Yeah,
corny
yeah,
shit up, man.
What are you
This
yeah.
nigga
talking
Hold on,
had the
hold
about?
on, hold
belts
on,
at
hold on.
It's not
135.
corny.
He had all the belts at 135, and
That's
y'all niggas talking about some
that
Mexico
man
fights
fought
or some
at
shit.
140.
Shut
He
that
fought
shit
at
corny as
140
hell,
for
man.
5 fights. He
That
fought
shit
at
lame as
140 for
hell.
5 fights.
Shut that Mexico.
So
Nobody
when
want.
Tank
Now y'all
Davis
want to talk about
when Tank
Mexico.
Davis fought at
Now we want to
140,
talk about
Tank
Mexico.
Davis fought at 140. He's the bigger guy. He fought at
Y'all
140, but when
motherfuckers looked
Devin
up
Haney fought
box
at
rec.
140,
Y'all done looked
Hold
at
on,
box rec.
B3.
Come
I know you
on,
got
man.
B3. I know you got your black and mild in your hand,
He said,
but
"I
we
know
gotta
you
cool
got
all
your
the
black
cussing,
and
man. We
mild."
gotta cool
Hey,
out.
the
man.
man fought
Hey.
at
Go ahead.
140 straight fights. He fought at 140 for 5 straight fights. What are you
That's
talking about?
that's on the record, B3.
Five,
That's not nothing we
five,
made up.
But why are y'all moving the
five.
goalpost? Why didn't you talk about Coach Kenny saying his fighter is a 135 and
No,
y'all over here
I didn't
jank?
move the
Hold on,
goalpost.
and y'all
You
over here
didn't.
jank riding, talking about he can go to 147 and beat a soon to be unified champion. Man, cut the bullshit. It's too late, man.
Ain't
Did y'all
nobody
watch
say he
I
boxing?
could.
didn't. I didn't. I didn't
Man.
say. I didn't say he could go to 140. I didn't
Let
say
me
he
tell
could
y'all
go
this
to
camera nigga. This
147.
is funny.
What I said was,
Niggas is
if Tank
hilarious, yo.
Davis was to ever to go to 147 and get acclimated, I think he's smarter than Jerron Boosin is what I said. But
Yeah,
you
he's
wasn't up
smarter.
here
That's
to
why
hear
he's
the
a
whole thing.
135.
So
He's smarter.
I
That's why he's a
understand.
135.
I,
That's why we see
I
Frank Martin
understand.
weight drain on the weight scale.
I
That's why we
understand.
see Barrios
I understand.
in a rehydration. That's why we see
Dog.
Ryan in a rehydration.
Um.
What y'all want?
Dog.
Y'all, you
Can
cap, man.
I
can
mean,
I
if
can I
I
ask you a
call
question?
be
cap.
free, hold on,
Can
hold
I
on,
ask you
hold
a
on, hold on, hold
question?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So if we
Can I
really,
ask you a
if we
question? B3.
Oh, let Juan get in here real quick. Go
Can I
ahead,
ask
Puerto
you?
Rican Juan.
hold on, D free, I got you. Hold on. So if we really sitting here talking, right, and we gonna sit here and talk about this rehydration clauses and stuff and whatever, whatnot. So you got to point the finger the other way because technically, look at Ryan where he at now. He gonna be at 47. Look at Devin where he gonna be at 47. So you have no sense. You talking about something like, oh well, yeah, He's rehydrating. He's been hitting him with a rehydration process.
Brother, explain to me how your 135 is going up to 147 and fighting boots.
They're saying in a
It's a clown ass conversation, my nigga. That's what I'm saying.
In a hypothetical conversation.
In a hypothetical is dumb as shit. He's a little nigga that wouldn't fight Devin Haney.
My brother. We're saying in a hypothetical conversation, my boy. That's all I'm saying.
That nigga ain't fighting no fucking